Yeah, 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 I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving? I was like, where I watched 2 seconds of CNN's New Year's, for the ball to drop, and I was like, what am I watching? Where do like where are we going here, y'all? And then we're gonna talk a little bit about Dave Chappelle, who I thought I don't know what you felt about Dave Chappelle,
Oh,
but I felt like he was poking his finger in everybody's eyeball
he was.
and I said, this is genius. And I
Yeah.
don't want to call him, I don't like to throw that around, but I said he masterfully figured out how to piss everybody off to the point where if you're outraged about everything, at some point you got to come back to do like, does he mean this? Does he really hate these people? I don't think he does. I think because you told him he can't do something, he gonna keep doing it because he owns himself. And in a damn thing, that's what it looks like, right? So Claudine Gay doesn't own Harvard, so she got to step down. Jonathan Majors doesn't own Marvel, so he's got to step down. But Dana White didn't have to step down after he's on camera punching his wife in the face. Why doesn't Dana White have to step down and get canceled? Because he owns the UFC. He has ownership of the damn thing. How you gonna cancel somebody that Elon Musk has all of this anti-Semitic stuff going on his platform? You can't cancel him. He owns the damn platform. Where he going?
Where's he going?
So to me, it's like there's a double-edged sword to what Buck is saying, because freedom of speech is the right to call me and you the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does it end, right? So there's legislation about that. Like, so how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this question of protection of the very First Amendment right that we all are supposed to have?
It's a legitimate question. I think that you hit it. Can we talk about Chappelle now? Do you want to wait? I
I
wasn't
think I
sure.
want to wait till because we need to unpack. We need to
Okay.
unpack Chappelle. I don't
Okay.
think we got like.
To Buck's question, I want to shout out my brother Fela out of Texas, Fela Best. He texted me. He said, "Do you remember this album cover?" Ice-T put out an album, a song in the early 1990s, and an album. He talked about freedom of speech, just watch what you say. And I think that's really the era we're in now. Back then, it was hip hop being attacked all over the place. Various folks. You remember Public Enemy got in trouble,
Cop killer,
Cop Killer,
F the
Ice,
police. Yeah.
all of the NWA, all of it, Cube, and everything. Now it's far beyond anything we could have imagined. But I think what Phelan texts me is apropos. You got freedom of speech. You just got to watch what you say. You can't say certain things unless, to your point, you actually own your space. You know what I mean? And even then, I don't think it means that we should go out there and promote hate speech. And I think that's the conversation we got to have about Dave Chappelle, because people are calling it. Before my wife and I watched the special, we saw all this stuff. Here he goes again. He's dissing disabled people. He's dissing, the LGBTQ plus community. We'll talk about it after the break, but I have a lot to say, because I also want to contextualize how long I've known Dave and how I've seen his journey as someone who's been documenting him for a long time.
Mm. Do you feel free to say whatever you want to say? And then what are the consequences? Let's do an experiment. Kevin Powell is on the Karen Hunter show. What is something that you would have liked to have said, but have not been able to say? And then what's the fear of saying exactly what it is that you think and feel? Are you afraid to not get your next speech? Are you afraid, like what's the fear?
I'm not afraid of anything, but because I have been censored in the past. Remember, you're talking to Kevin Powell, who was the quote unquote angry black man on the first season of MTV's The Real World. I paid a steep price for simply having arguments with white folks, arguments that people later, years later, said you were right and apologized to me for attacking me and things like that. But there's still people who hate my guts to this day because of stuff that I said on The Real World. And so what it does to you over time, when you're attacked over and over again from a variety of angles, it makes you think about, do I really want to put myself through this? Because yeah, people say, yo, Kev, speak your mind, son, speak your mind. But at the end of the day, you're the one left holding that by yourself often, you know.
Yep.
So to put it in modern context, I think Claudine Gay could have fought this thing. Dr. Gay could have fought this
Yep.
thing in Harvard,
Yep.
but you got all these people coming at you, you know, from different angles. We don't know the level of folks who were coming at her, and she resigned. And you saw her. People should re-Google her statement. It's a long statement about how she, you know, felt about the whole thing, you know, and how sad she is because it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? And so we penalize people. We say freedom of speech, but let's not forget, Karen, when Dr. King, the same Dr. King, people about to cry crocodile tears over the next 2 weeks, they're stuck on I Have a Dream speech. But when he came out against the Vietnam War 4 years later, you know, after the I Have a Dream speech, he was brutally attacked from all over. All y'all got to do is Google it. They called him all kinds of names. People stopped supporting this, you know, his organization. We're not going to support the civil rights movement. You know, who does he think he is? A year later, he was assassinated. That's all I got to say about that, Karen Hunter.
866. And is the assassination a way to keep us all quiet? 866-801-8255. Is it a message to everybody who dares to speak truth to power? Is that the message that we will kill you?
And does assassination happen in different forms?
Yeah, Claudine, Dr. Gay, definitely had her whole career assassinated in real time. We got to watch it play out. And I don't know where she gets a job, or does she need a job? Like in the need for a job, put you in a situation where, to your point, you're going to be super careful next time. Is that mission accomplished?
I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one who loves things is the one